Context and introduction. Imagine a sunny day in Jerusalem, where the city's hustle and bustle intertwines with the solemnity of the temple, the spiritual heart of the Jewish people. This majestic building is not only a place of worship, but also a symbol of divine presence and the devotion of the people. In this context, offerings and donations are common practices, acts of faith that reflect each individual's commitment to God. Amid this sacred atmosphere, we find Jesus, a teacher and prophet who has captured the attention of multitudes with his teachings and miracles. Jesus not only teaches through words, but also through actions and observations that reveal profound spiritual truths. Today, he is in the temple, accompanied by his disciples, attentively observing the people who come to make their offerings. Among the crowd stands a humble figure, a widow. In the society of the time, widows often faced significant economic and social difficulties. Without a husband to support them, many lived in poverty, relying on the charity and generosity of others. This widow, in particular, represents the most vulnerable in society, those who, despite their limitations, maintain unwavering faith. The scene is set. The wealthy approach the offering chest, depositing large sums of money with great ostentation. Their donations are notable both for their size and for the manner in which they are given, perhaps seeking the admiration of those present. But Jesus, with his piercing gaze, is not impressed by appearances. He knows that the true value of an offering is not measured in monetary terms, but in the sacrifice and intention behind it. In this context, the widow approaches the offering chest. Her presence is discreet, almost imperceptible amidst the crowd. However, what she is about to do will not go unnoticed by Jesus. With a heart full of faith and devotion, she places 2 small copper coins, known as leptons, into the chest. These coins, though insignificant in monetary value, represent all she has to live on. The story of the widow and her offering is about to reveal a powerful lesson about the true nature of sacrifice and generosity. Jesus, ever attentive to genuine acts of faith, is ready to teach his disciples a lesson that will transcend time and circumstances. What will Jesus do in response to this humble act of devotion? How will his disciples react? The answers to these questions will lead us to a deeper understanding of God's heart and what it truly means to give with love and sacrifice. Observation in the temple. The scene in the temple unfolds with a mix of reverence and activity. Jesus and his disciples are positioned strategically, observing the people approaching the offering chest. This chest, placed in a prominent location, serves as the focal point for all who wish to contribute to God's work. The atmosphere is charged with expectation and devotion as the faithful come forward with their donations. Jesus' disciples, curious and attentive, watch as the wealthy approach the chest. These individuals, adorned in elegant clothing and gleaming jewelry, make their offerings with great pomp. Their donations are substantial, and the sound of coins clinking into the chest echoes throughout the temple, drawing the attention of everyone present. For many, these acts of generosity are worthy of admiration and respect. However, Jesus, with his wisdom and discernment, sees beyond appearances. He knows that the true measure of an offering lies not in its amount, but in the heart of the giver. As the wealthy continue to make their donations, Jesus observes silently, waiting for the right moment to teach his disciples a profound lesson. Amid this scene, the widow approaches the offering chest. Her presence is quiet, almost invisible among the crowd. She wears no fine clothes or sparkling jewelry. Her humble appearance starkly contrasts with that of the wealthy surrounding her. Yet, what she is about to do will capture Jesus' attention in a way no other offering has. The widow, with trembling hands but a steadfast heart, places 2 small copper coins into the chest. These coins, known as leptons, have very little monetary value. To casual onlookers, her offering might seem insignificant, almost dismissible compared to the large sums given by the wealthy. But Jesus sees something more. He sees the sacrifice and devotion behind those 2 small coins. Aware of the significance of this moment, Jesus calls his disciples to pay attention. He knows that this humble offering holds a powerful lesson about the true nature of generosity and sacrifice. Intrigued by Jesus' reaction, the disciples draw closer to hear what their teacher has to say. The observation in the temple is about to transform into an unforgettable teaching moment. Jesus, with his compassionate gaze and infinite wisdom, is ready to reveal a truth that will forever change the way his disciples understand the act of giving. What words will Jesus use to convey this lesson? How will his disciples react to their master's revelation? The answers to these questions will lead us to a deeper understanding of God's heart and what it truly means to give with love and sacrifice. The widow's offering. Amid the hustle and bustle of the temple, the figure of the widow stands out for her humility and discretion. While the wealthy continue to make their ostentatious donations, she approaches the offering chest with quiet determination. Her simple appearance and modest demeanor sharply contrast with the opulence of the other donors. Yet what she is about to do will resonate deeply in the heart of Jesus and his disciples. The widow, with trembling hands but unshakable faith, places 2 small copper coins into the chest. These coins, known as leptons, were the lowest denomination in Jewish currency at the time. To casual onlookers, her offering might seem insignificant, almost dismissible compared to the large sums deposited by the wealthy. But to Jesus, these 2 coins represent far more than their monetary value. Jesus, ever attentive to acts of true devotion, observes the widow with a blend of admiration and compassion. He knows that these 2 coins are all she has to live on. This act of giving, though small in material terms, is a tremendous sacrifice for her. It is an act of faith and trust in God, a demonstration of her complete reliance on divine providence. The disciples, intrigued by Jesus' reaction, draw closer to see what has captured his attention. Aware of the significance of this moment, Jesus seizes it as an opportunity to teach a profound lesson about the true nature of generosity and sacrifice. He calls his disciples and points to the widow's offering, highlighting her act of devotion. "Truly I tell you," Jesus says, "this poor widow has put in more than all those who are contributing to the offering box. For they all contributed out of their abundance. But she, out of her poverty, has put in everything she had, all she had to live on." With these words, Jesus reveals a powerful truth. The value of an offering is not measured by its amount, but by the sacrifice and intention behind it. The widow's offering, though small in material terms, is great in spiritual significance. Her act of giving everything she has is a testament to her faith and love for God. It serves as a reminder that true generosity is not about how much we give, but about the heart with which we give. This humble act of devotion becomes an eternal lesson on the true meaning of sacrifice and generosity. The story of the widow and her offering continues to echo through the centuries, inspiring generations to give with a heart full of love and faith. Jesus, with his infinite wisdom, has revealed a timeless truth that transcends circumstances, teaching us that the true value of an offering lies in the sacrifice and intention behind it. How will we apply this lesson in our own lives? The answer to this question leads us to a deeper understanding of God's heart and what it means to give with love and sacrifice. Jesus' reaction and teaching. The widow's offering, though small in material terms, deeply captures Jesus' attention. Aware of the significance of this moment, he decides to use it as an opportunity to impart a crucial lesson to his disciples. Calling them to his side, Jesus ensures they are all attentive to what he is about to say. "Truly I tell you," Jesus begins, "this poor widow has put in more than all those who are contributing to the offering box." His words surprise the disciples, who have seen the wealthy deposit large sums of money. But Jesus, with his infinite wisdom, looks beyond appearances and material amounts. He continues, "For they all contributed out of their abundance. But she, out of her poverty, put in everything she had, all she had to live on." With these words, Jesus reveals a powerful and transformative truth. True generosity is not measured by the amount given, but by the sacrifice and intention behind the offering. By giving everything she had, the widow demonstrates a faith and devotion that far exceed the grand donations of the rich. Her act of giving, though small in monetary value, is immense in spiritual significance. As the disciples listen to Jesus' words, they begin to grasp the depth of his teaching. Jesus challenges conventional notions of wealth and generosity, inviting them to see the value of an offering from a divine perspective. It is not about how much is given, but about how much is sacrificed and the purity of the heart with which it is offered. With compassionate eyes, Jesus observes his disciples as they absorb this new understanding. He knows this lesson is not just relevant for them, but for all future generations. The story of the widow and her offering becomes an eternal example of what it means to give with a heart full of love and faith. Jesus' reaction to the widow's offering highlights not only his wisdom and discernment, but also his deep empathy and compassion. He sees the widow's sacrifice and values it above any other material offering. This teaching resonates across centuries, reminding us that the true value of an offering lies in the sacrifice and intention behind it. Jesus' lesson on generosity and sacrifice invites us to reflect on our own lives and offerings. Are we giving from our surplus, or are we giving with a heart full of love and sacrifice? This question challenges us to examine our motivations and seek greater depth in our acts of generosity. The story of the widow and her offering continues to inspire generations to give with a heart full of faith and love. Jesus, with his infinite wisdom, has revealed a truth that transcends time and circumstances, teaching us that the true value of an offering lies in the sacrifice and intention behind it. How will we apply this lesson in our own lives? The answer to this question will lead us to a deeper understanding of God's heart and what it means to give with love and sacrifice. Lesson and reflection. Jesus' teaching on the widow's offering not only impacts his disciples in that moment, but also provides an eternal lesson about the true nature of generosity and sacrifice. Jesus makes it clear that the value of an offering is not measured by its amount, but by the sacrifice and intention behind it. This revelation challenges conventional ideas of wealth and generosity, inviting everyone to see the act of giving from a divine perspective. Jesus' lesson invites us to reflect on our own lives and offerings. In a world where quantity often outweighs quality, Jesus reminds us that true value lies in personal sacrifice and the purity of the heart. The widow, by giving all she had, demonstrates that genuine generosity comes from a place of deep love and faith. This story challenges us to examine our motivations and seek greater depth in our acts of generosity. Are we giving from our surplus, or are we giving with a heart full of love and sacrifice? This question encourages us to consider how we can apply the widow's lesson in our own lives. Giving is not solely about money. It is also about offering time, love, and support to those around us. The contemporary application of this lesson is clear. In our communities and personal lives, there are countless opportunities to demonstrate generosity and sacrifice. Whether by helping a neighbor in need, volunteering our time, or simply showing kindness and compassion, every act of generosity matters. The widow's story reminds us that even the smallest acts can have a significant impact when done with love and sacrifice. Moreover, this story invites us to reflect on the value of the intention behind our actions. In a world where appearances often take precedence over substance, Jesus reminds us that what truly matters is the heart with which we give. The widow, through her humble offering, shows that the true value of an offering lies in the sacrifice and intention behind it. The story of the widow and her offering continues to resonate through the centuries, inspiring generations to give with a heart full of faith and love. Jesus, with his infinite wisdom, reveals a truth that transcends time and circumstances, teaching us that the true value of an offering is in the sacrifice and intention behind it. This lesson calls us to live with a spirit of generosity and sacrifice, striving always to give our best in every act of love and service. In conclusion, the story of the widow and her offering serves as a powerful reminder that true generosity is not measured by the amount we give, but by the sacrifice and intention with which we do so. Jesus invites us to follow the widow's example, giving with a heart full of love and faith, and reminds us that even the smallest acts can have a profound impact when done with love and sacrifice. How will we apply this lesson in our own lives? The answer to this question will lead us to a deeper understanding of God's heart and what it truly means to give with love and sacrifice. If this video has touched your heart and been a blessing to you, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to receive more content that strengthens your spirit. See you in the next video. God bless you.